Today is January the 16th, 2025. This is Carmen bringing you your daily Bloodborne Remaster update. No news on a Bloodborne Remaster today, or the emulator, but we do have some official mention of Bloodborne, so let's go ahead and do that. Of course, this went up like an hour after I uploaded last night's daily update, an hour afterwards, I get a comment from Comet, and then I open Twitter, and the first thing I see is the quote. So, Shuhei Yoshida was a PlayStation exec for over 30 years. He's been part of the company since back with the PlayStation 1. He's part of Japan Studio, I think, so he had, he was part of the crew, I guess, that helped out with Demon Souls and Bloodborne, and he had this to say about Bloodborne. And I quote, I'm getting this from Genki on Twitter. Genki J_JPN. He covers a lot of things just, from Japan. So, Shuhei Yoshida's own personal theory on why PlayStation haven't done anything with Bloodborne is that he thinks Miyazaki loves Bloodborne and doesn't want anyone else to touch it. Okay, and in quotes, people wonder why we really haven't done anything with Bloodborne. My theory is because I remember Miyazaki really loved Bloodborne and what he created, so I think he is interested, but he is so successful and he is so busy that he cannot do it himself, but he doesn't want anyone else to touch it. So that's just my theory, and the PlayStation team respects his wish, so that is my guess. I am not revealing any secret information. So according to him and his guess, the PlayStation team is simply respecting his wish for no one else to touch the Bloodborne IP because Miyazaki wants to do it himself. That would make sense. Miyazaki's been a pretty busy guy ever since Bloodborne, because Bloodborne came out and he was working on DS3 at a similar time, and DS3 went through some issues, and then DS3 came out, and then shortly after Sekiro came out, and then he was on Elden Ring for so long. But he has been freed up for a bit now, because he had Tanimura with him on Elden Ring. I'm going to assume that Miyazaki is working on at least one or two other projects right now. And I guess he is a pretty busy guy, so if he really doesn't want anyone else to touch it but him, I guess, that would make sense as to why they haven't done anything. I'm just going to say that Sony hates Bloodborne and hates Bloodborne fans. What can I say? It's just what it is. However, remember, it's about persistence. That trailer from PlayStation, I'm telling you, that's going to go somewhere. Whether it is a Bloodborne t-shirt or not. Whether it's a t-shirt or a remaster or a sequel or a spin-off, something. It's about persistence from that trailer with Bloodborne in the background is going to go somewhere. I guarantee you it is. So, I think it's a pretty solid theory. Maybe Big Mike is just a bit too busy. I guess it would kind of make sense. Hey, maybe when his schedule clears up, he can move back over to Bloodborne, because I would love to see, if we can get if they do a sequel, I don't want a Dark Souls 3 sequel where it's like, dude, look at this. Don't you remember this from the first game? Look, don't you remember that? Dude, look, don't you remember that? No. This is good. People are going to hate the way I say this, but take it in the Dark Souls 2 direction. Do something completely new. Take the very core of the game and just do something completely new with it, like what Dark Souls 2 did. I think that is 100%, or like what the original draft of Dark Souls 3 did. The original version of Dark Souls 3, before they cut it all up and stitched it all back together, was also very unique. So if you're going to make a sequel or a spinoff, kind of take it in the Dark Souls 2 direction. Just do something completely different with it. Don't do the DS3 thing where you're like, dude, well, you're just pointing like, oh my god, the two, the Wojaks of the guy, the guy's just pointing at something. Don't do that. It's ridiculous, and I don't like it in DS3. So yeah, if they do something with it, DS2 direction, even though that was Tanimura, not Miyazaki, still do it. Let's see here. And we do have a couple of other things to go over. These things are a bit more minor, I would say. Switch 2 got revealed today. I'm convinced Nintendo put it off for 12 hours just to spite a leaker. I think they would 100% do that. So yeah, cool. I don't have anything to say. It's $400 apparently. Why buy that when you could buy a Steam Deck? You can put Nintendo emulators on the Steam Deck. Don't buy a Switch 2, buy a Steam Deck. It's just why would you buy it? I know people would just want it, but I will say I think Nintendo's IPs are some of the most boring in the industry. I know people might not like that take. So just buy a Steam Deck. You just get everything, and you get everything Nintendo has and more. Nintendo has the most boring IPs in the industry, but they know how to make decent games out of them. Xbox has interesting IPs, but is too incompetent to make decent games out of them. And PlayStation's just a mixed bag. I have no idea. But yeah, it's the same price as a Steam Deck. You'll get more for your money with a Steam Deck. I'm just saying. And apparently PlayStation has canceled 2 live service games. Jim Ryan's big push before he left the company, or before he was, I wonder if he was forced out of the company. We have no evidence to back this up, but I'm starting to wonder if he was forced out of the company. Was like his big push was live service games, and now we have two more live service games getting the axe. You know, we had the Spider-Man live service game that got killed. The Last of Us live service game got killed. There were a couple of other ones that got scrapped about a year or two ago. Concord was dead on arrival. And now they canceled a live service game coming from Ben Studio, which are the Days Gone developers. And I had to do a triple take when I looked at this. A God of War live service game coming from Blue Point. What? These are the remake guys who didn't do Demon Souls any justice. These are the remake guys. And you put them on a God of War live service. What? I am going to operate under the assumption Jim Ryan was forced out of the company for being senile. He was old and senile, and he didn't know what he was doing anymore. I gotta assume that. This is ridiculous. These guys are known for specifically remaking and not always improving other people's work. And you gave them a God of War live service title? What are you talking about? I'm just going to end it before I rant. This is already 6.5 minutes long, dude. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. But pretty cool to see Bloodborne get mentioned officially again. Switch 2. Who cares? I don't care. I couldn't care any less. Let's see. And Ben Studio, whatever. Blue Point God of War live service. Those are things that should not go in the same sentence together. Yeah, I'm gonna operate under the assumption that Jim Ryan got forced out of the company. So anyways, I'll go ahead and get out of here. No news on a Bloodborne Remaster today. That's been your daily Bloodborne Remaster update for January the 16th, 2025.